right, that's active, active, active. And we gotta wait on that because that's not active yet. We have to select our window. There we are. We can see pop-ups telling me that we're live, even though that's, oh, actually I can tell from right here. That's posted. Yep, that's showing. Okay. There it is. I see it now. Okay, I did that. I need to do this. And hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm doing an early stream today because I have the day off work. In the United States, we celebrate, well, some people get a day off. Wait, where'd the window go? Uh-oh. Hold on, I missed the window somewhere. To celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. To celebrate his life, and sadly, his life that was cut short. And where did this window go? Did I miss something? Hold on, I'm missing a window somewhere. It's really weird. I wonder if I can deactivate. Can I deactivate the source? Oh, there it is. Got it. And I always forget about it, to be honest. I don't forget about the day. I forget that we get the day off. It kind of sneaks up on me, because not everybody does. I'm fortunate that the job that I have, we do get the day off. So I figured, and wow, this is such a weird stream too. Hold on, let me start this. Let me listen for the noise. There it is. Because this stream was going to originally be something completely different. Oh, I hope that doesn't mean it's screwed up. Let me do a quick test. Hold on, I see double windows. I don't know what that means. It might be nothing. Let me see. Yeah, that one's not showing up. Oh, you know why? It's not visible. There it is. I didn't have it visible. Okay, so that's working. Close this. Let's come over here. EST2. And sorry how loud it is. I'm just, it's just the volume of this thing. But, okay, so social stream's working. Okay, that's there, that's there, that's there. So anyway, I was not actually, well, I was planning to do an early stream since I had the day off. I figured, well, I can do a stream, early stream and a late stream. Hold on, let me do this. But the stream was originally going to be something completely different than what it is now. Because I actually, and I'm going to do the stream I planned earlier later, which is a bit of a planning stream for the person who I am working on the magic card for. That individual, I want them to, I'd like to offer them, I shouldn't say I want them to, like it's something they have to do. I'm going to give them a decision on how they'd like their card to look, which I like to do. I know some people want to put, and if the person says it's up to you, that's fine, and I'll make the call, and I'm going back and forth on it, to be honest. But I do also like to, it's this person's card, they're paying money for it. I don't have a problem with them making a decision if they have something that they're particular on, or if there's a way they like it one way or another. Because I got an interesting opinion on something that sometimes, well, I shouldn't say like an opinion nobody's ever had, but somebody had said, oh, you don't always have to go high. If the image looks good with simplicity, stick with simplicity. Don't feel the need, because I do. I have a compulsion to do a high amount of detail on things, which is not always necessary, but I almost feel lazy not doing more with stuff. So anyway, that's going to be the stream later. That's not what this stream is, because I was looking at I'm going to be painting today, and I originally was going to be following a Bob Ross painting and doing something called Ocean Sunrise, which Bob had a guest artist on, and she did this painting, and I like it, and I am going to do it, because I don't want everything to be always just the style that I like. I like to do other things too, because that way if somebody really likes the painting, I can give it to them. So it doesn't always have to be really harsh and stark and sinister and that type of thing. But then, hilariously, as I was watching the video to kind of prep, because I like to watch those videos first to kind of have an idea of how it's going to work. In the course of watching that, I saw a thumbnail for an acrylic painting, and I really liked the idea, the general approach that person had, because it was like almost a very volcanic sunset type of thing. I don't know how else to explain it. And now I want to kind of do my own painting based on that, which is going to be very minimal in terms of colors. It's going to be really oranges, yellows, and reds, and then harsh blacks. And I'm going to sketch out. Here, let me do this, just so we can get into this, so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm not muted, right? I'm not muted. Oh, I should have gotten water, though. I should have gotten water before I started this. Let me grab a cup of water. I'm going to walk into the other room and grab a cup of water. So you may hear some weird... Just telling my dog to stay still because I'm just grabbing this cup. I'm going to come right back in. So you might hear some weird background noise as I walk by the air conditioner and come back in. And hopefully the mic should have kept its connection the whole time. Hi, cutie. I'm just getting water. Okay, here we are. All right. So anyway, my plan... after getting a drink of water, of course, is I want to block out the basics of what this is going to look like to follow. So, and I'm going to do it on a white canvas. I haven't done a white canvas painting in quite a while. So, and this, what you're seeing here, this grid, this is I think it's 18 by, hold on, where's the actual size? Here we go. So this is basically a proportional scale thing. So you see there it says 12 by 18 for the physical width and height. Now I'm actually going to be working at 24 by 36, and so this is half size. But with the grid, I can basically plan this out because each of these squares right here is an inch. I think I've gone over, I think I did this once before. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So this allows me to basically block out a painting and have an idea of how it will look so that I can just set some very, very simple marks on the canvas to know like where my horizon line is going to be. So this person, they did it as a 50-50, where basically their horizon was about dead center to the painting. I'm not going to do that. I really want to emphasize, hold on, there's something on the screen. Keep thinking it's a mark. It's not. It's just like a little piece of lint. So in essence, I'm going to go to my oil brushes here. And that person did it in acrylic too, which I'm not using acrylic. So let's go to those oil brushes. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is a good one. All right. So basically, I think, actually, I am going to start with a pencil line. I think I'm going to set my horizon line lower. I think right about there. Actually, let me do this. Let me switch to the 2D. Oh, it is a 2D grid. I just have to put the alignment on. So let's do drawing assist. I want my horizon line to be about there. So that would be, is that 3/4 of the way down? Hold on. 36 divided by 4 is 12. Right. No, it's not. What is 36 divided by 4? God, I'm so bad at math. I don't even know what 36 divided by 4 is. Hold on. Oh my God, this is so bad. I am just so bad at math. 36. I'm literally getting a calculator. 4. 9. Oh my God. Whew. See? Can't make this crap up, everybody. You couldn't. Nobody would fake being this stupid. So, how many am I from the bottom here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it is roughly 3/4 of the way up. Just past it, but that's fine. So about 10 inches up from the bottom. Do I want to move it a little bit further up? No, I like it like that. That's where it's going to be. Okay, so that's my horizon line. So see, on the canvas, I'll be able to just I can take a ruler, and I'll just be able to make a simple little mark so that I know where my horizon line is. Now, I'm not going to tape it off. I don't think I need to do that, but I do want to know where it is because there's going to be land mass and that type of thing. So it's important to have it there. So now we'll jump down to our oil brushes. But I'm going to base it off this image. And I'm going to be using a lot of yellows, oranges, and reds. So let's start off in the yellows. So we take this, okay, helps to actually click on the color there. There we go. So yellow. And we're going to place our sun, I'd say right about here. And kind of just have it come out. And we'll be doing this. Actually, it should be, no, it should be there. Because I'm going to have the sun basically hitting the horizon line. And then, we'll do something like this to kind of emphasize the sun going, because there's going to be water here. But basically our yellows, and, I'll probably use a couple different types of yellow, and I'm basically going to shade it out like this. Again, where it's going to, obviously it's not going to look exactly like this because I'm going to be doing cloud technique, or cloud blending and brushing. Okay, that'll come down. And then the interesting part is, I guess I can somewhat simulate, though, like what I would do with the brush to, oh yeah, look at that. You can kind of simulate. See, this is what the water will look like when I'm blending it. So we'll do that. So that'll be the water on the bottom. It'll blend out like that. Right? God, this really does. You can kind of get an idea of what you want to do. And I'm not going to worry about this. Yeah, see? That's kind of what I'll be going for. And then I'll be doing more of an orange. So more oranges here. So more oranges coming out here. Just fanning this out like that. You know, I'm not really doing pressure sensitivity too well here. But this is just really because I'm just blocking out my colors. So I'm not really too concerned about it looking exactly, you know, like what it's going to look like. It's going to look different than this. That's just the reality of it. It will look different. And again, just kind of, is there a way to adjust the pressure on that? Oh, it's because it's using that. That's fine. It really doesn't matter. This doesn't actually matter. This is just planning. So it really doesn't matter if it's exactly right or not, but that's what I'll be doing with the brush. Right, and I'll be just kind of blending these out. There we are. So that'll form the water. And then I'm going to go into like reds and oranges, and do more of that coming out here. And then that will go out like that. Right. And this will all blend, so it won't be these harsh lines. And then, oh, I do it down here. So we do all of this, right? So all this is just going to be really just filling in color. So my goal is to have this whole thing really, really colorized. And then finally some reds up here, like some nice deep reds, right? And the whole canvas is going to be full like this, right? And then, of course, we'll blend down here. And right now, this just looks like a big mess, which it kind of is. But then, I mean, this is if this goes the way I want it to go, right? So that's the basic thing. Then, I want to come in with black. And black is how I'm going to form a lot of my clouds, right? And I'm just going to have these big, like, cloud masses that are going to form around this thing. And some will come in here. Right, and I'll do that and that. So we'll have these black clouds. Right. So we'll have black clouds and then what I'm going to try, and I really don't know if this is going to work, but, so we'll have black clouds all there to really give this like a harsh look to this thing. And then down here, there'll be like a, you know, little kind of range of land there. Some land up here. And then this is going to form like water. So we'll just have it coming like this. And something like that. And again, this will be really just black, 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 and kind of forming like a black beach. Something like that. And this will shoot out and then come in and then maybe a little bit more there. And then in here, if we now switch to white and I go to, I don't know, like this. And then what I would do is probably put the sun here. Wow, that's a really small brush though. Hold on. Let me make this brush bigger. Right, and then put the sun here. You know what? Actually, hold on. Maybe that black land should come out further. So let me go back to here and actually have this shoot out. Let me bring this down. I'll probably use a fan brush for this. All right, so then if I have this mountainous region here and I bring this out further, then the sun can be kind of cresting over it if I really minimize it down there. Something like that. Yeah, make this more like a flowing river. Yeah, there, like that. And then if I go to white and I jump to that other brush, where's that other brush? Is it this? I guess this. I do this white thing, right? And I have that coming up and that would fan out. And then you would have it coming down here as well. Right, and then on the land, you would have kind of areas where It's meeting the water. So like this. Okay. Have that come down. And then, see, that doesn't, I don't know how to do fan brush with these particular brushes, but fan brush to again show some of the water here. Here. Right, and then now this, tricky part about this is going to be blending this, because you want this to blend, right? So you want this to smear. And this too, but this will be a different type of blending, but I'd almost want to see, I want to try to create something like that, see? I don't know how well that's actually going to work, but I'm going to try it. So I mean, to make it, because that's a little almost too much, where it sort of erased the land, but I guess a bright sun would. But something like that, and then I might try, and I mean, this will be risky, but I will try it, is what I'll then try is to mix a little bit of white and I would lower this down because it would be a fan brush, and then try to do like some accent stuff on here, on the clouds, to kind of show that they're reflecting that light. Again, it'll look a lot different in the actual painting than this, but something like that. And then you would kind of blend that out. See? Like that. Like this. This is the idea. And those clouds would then have some of that reflected in them. And hopefully, now I don't know if any of this is going to work when the paint hits the canvas. This is an idealized, somewhat. This is obviously very, very loose. But something like this, a simple kind of restrained color palette, but very vibrant, very kind of bright color thing. But just right there, I already like the way it looks. I mean, this is my horizon line, so I should probably keep that. What I'll do is just, I don't remember, it's 9 up, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 inches up. But something like that. Now, I have no idea if this is going to work at all the way I think it is. But I just like it. I saw this person, and they did a lot of different stuff in theirs. This is very similar to theirs at about that person, this was about the midway point, and then they went on and they did a bunch of different things with like waves and stuff like that. I don't want to do that. I want this to be more like you're up on a mountain and you're looking down at sunset, and you're getting this really harsh contrast look. Basically this. I have no idea if this is actually going to work at all the way I think it will. In fact, it might be a complete disaster, because I don't know how some of these colors are going to mix. In particular, the highlights on the clouds. So this is the idea of it, is what I've got here. But whether the reality of this is actually going to work, I don't know. And then as far as, I don't even want to put any details in this black area. Down here, I want this to be, what I should do is, I think it was this one. No, yeah, it was this one. I should have some, this will have some, oh, okay, not like that, whoa, more like this, this will have where the water is, so there should be some of that, but then, actually come down, it'd be like that, okay, but I'm not going to put any detail in that black stuff, in the black areas. I want that to be like it is. It was this one, wasn't it? Wait, was it wet smudge oil, or was it smooth wet oil? See, like, I want this to be black. I really just want that to be, to be blacked out. I don't think I want to put anything in there. I really do. I mean, if I did, maybe I would have something that reflected these colors, but I don't even know if that's going to work. Let me see here. I don't know if that's even going to work. If I were to do something like that. See, I don't like that. I think just the black silhouette works. I think if I'm going to do color anywhere, it's going to have to be up in here. where I'm doing like this on the clouds to kind of reflect these different colors. And by the way, this should be, let me go back here. This should be very black. This should be like blacked out. See, I want to have this be blacked in many cases. Not necessarily all of it. Some of the bottom can be like this is where it's peeking through, but I want these top areas to be blacked out because I really want to emphasize. And I thought about doing black acrylic underneath, but I really think I want to form it using the colors and just kind of have this thing where I'm making clouds, you know, and it's just kind of rolling in a bit here and there, but really, really black inside those clouds, and then coming in on top of it with the color stuff like this. Do some variation, of course. Doesn't all have to be the same. Do some, maybe some of this, whatever these lighter colors are, here and there, like that, maybe. A little bit there, a little bit there, and then again, come in and this would be blending with the brush and just doing a blend. Yeah, and see, just blending that like that. Oh, jeez. Hey, Jay. Forgot the volume on this is really loud. And then blend this in and see, that's kind of what I want to do. I want this to be a really harsh, contrasty image. Welcome, Jay. This is a very, very weird stream compared to what my original plan was. Basically, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, those are some of my dead media images, which I've got to do a new one of those. I kind of want to do a new cassette one or a VHS one. I got to get my hands on a VHS though for reference, so I can actually put it in the hand thing I've got. But anyway, this stream was originally going to be something completely different, but now I've had this idea for this painting based on a YouTube thumbnail that I saw of an acrylic painting. This will be oil, but I'm blocking this out really, really fast because this is what I'm going to base the actual painting on. Because this person did a painting that was sort of similar to this, but they did a lot more, they got more granular with it, and I want to keep this really, really like this, like high contrast and simple. Just this idea of like a fiery sunset with really black clouds and black land, and like and then down here it's watery. So I should blend this a little bit better because this is what I'll actually be doing with the brush, is blending this. So it'll look more like this without the black. Obviously, I should have done this before I put the black in, but just like this, blend that around. Yeah, see, that just like that, I like the look of. And of course, this is all going to be blended, right? This isn't going to be as harsh as this. I'm going to come in and there's going to be no white. This is all going to be color. And I'll come in and I'll blend it with the brush, assuming this works and doesn't blow up in my face. I will be videoing it, so you're going to see whatever is going to happen. I have my GoPro charged. I actually charged it last night, so it's at full power. I brought my paint in to let it warm up. I've got the canvas. The blank canvas is about 2 feet from me because it's also warm, because I do think the temperature really screwed up one of my earlier paintings. It made it a lot harder to move the paint around. So all my paint stuff is inside where it's warm and room temperature now. Even though I like painting in the cold, I don't think the paint likes painting in the cold. I think the paint gets really brittle. But this is what I'm going for. Something like this. Sort of the opposite of some of the moon paintings I've been doing, which have been at night, and I love those paintings, don't get me wrong, but I want something like a sunset, like the horizon's on fire. Like that. I want this, and I like the black against these really bright, and I have plenty of yellows, oranges, and reds. So I really want to layer the whole thing in those colors, and then have the black kind of slammed on top of it to really push them out. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going for. But I think I'm going to leave the land on the bottom just black, and then I'll put the actual kind of, blending will be up in here, where there will be this kind of fiery cloud effect where I'll put a lot of reds and different colors up here. And of course, attempt not to overdo it, which is the problem, the impulse. See, but if I blend all these nicely and these kind of swirl up, see how nice that looks? It looks like the clouds are burning. Ah, yeah, that's what I want. Because somehow it always has to be sinister. It always has to end up being sinister. one way or another. Yeah, it might. I don't know. This is what it looks like here. I have no idea what the actual physical painting process will be like, but I think if I hadn't at least blocked this out, because it's a simple painting, my impulse is always to do more than less, and that's fine sometimes, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I like the fact that I don't do paintings with, the black is usually from the canvas. It's not actually black that's applied. And that's where this is different, because it's going to be on a white canvas. So basically I'm starting with that and then adding all of these elements in. And that's what I think is going to be, I want to see what it looks like. I just don't know. And it might look good and it might look really, really bad. It's very possible that this will be great in conception and awful in result. So it's happened before. I've had ideas and they haven't worked out. That may be what happens here, but I'm going to try it. I'm curious about it. I think it's got potential. Could be a very interesting painting when it's done. And like I said, the thing that I'm interested in is that kind of contrast where it's those bright colors and then the black colors. And so the only tricky bit will be like blending this will be interesting, but I think it'll work if I just, obviously digitally blending is not the same as, but I think if I do that, yeah, see, I think that's going to make it look better. And then where's that black here? Yeah, so see, this would all be kind of blended out, blended in, so that it's covering up that color a bit. And then, yeah, and then come back to here. But that's actually down here. Yeah, there we go. See, and then blend that up. And I think that might actually look interesting. And then this is also going to be trying to blend this white out. And I do want to have it where the white kind of bleeds over the black a little bit. Now, I don't know how that's going to blend in practice, but almost like it's blowing out the land a bit, because a really bright sun would do that. So that's the idea, is to kind of really blend this. What kind of brush is this blending with? Oh, that's charcoal. Let's try it with like what does the oil blend look like? Let's see. Currently on babysitting duty and my nieces are calling for my attention. All right, Jay, hey, thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate it. Nope, go, and that's a far more important job than listening to me ramble and watching me do this, because honestly, I'm almost done anyway. This was the idea. Wow, it does look like it's on fire. But hey, thanks for coming by, and have a great day. Babysitting can be a lot of fun if you like it. I know people think babysitting is a chore, and I'm sure for some people it is, but I think babysitting can be fun. There's people who really like babysitting. So hopefully that's the case for you, and that you enjoy it. In which case, it's not really a chore, it's something fun. All right, so yeah, this would all blend in. Yep, so we blend that. And this is going to be a pretty short stream, because now that I've done this, I'm kind of eager to actually get to the painting and see if what it actually ends up looks anything like this. And if I knew I could reliably do a live stream of the GoPro, I think there are ways to do it, I've read, but I have not tried anything with that, and I'm not going to mess with it today. But the easiest way is I would just have to I'd have to run a line from the GoPro to the computer and then just do my normal streaming setup. And from what I understand, you can do it that way, and just the GoPro would function as a webcam, basically. So at some point, I might try that. But I also don't mind just recording those and releasing them as their own things. Not everything has to be live streamed. It doesn't all have to be that way. Oh, that's weird. It closed the, or did I do that? I must have closed that. Not that it matters, but I think I closed that thing accidentally. Hold on. It doesn't affect the stream, fortunately, so it's okay. But, yeah, okay. That's what I thought. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try that. I think that's how I'm gonna go. Like I said, it's I probably will, now that I'm looking at it. I probably will, if I can get it to work. Assuming this works, and I can make it work, and it doesn't blow up in my face, I probably will do more color up in the clouds. if it blends correctly. If that's the only thing I don't know is how this is actually going to blend. But I do like having the color up here. That I do think looks good once it's kind of blended out like this, just to give it some, see, like that? But I don't know how it's actually going to blend. So if it works well, I'm all for it. You know? And this is obviously going to look a little different when I'm doing it with a brush, because this is a smudge thing, not a blending brush that I'm using on the tablet. But I really do hope it works out, because this looks to me like it's got potential to be interesting. See, with all that, and then the bottom is still going to stay. I'm going to stick with just the black on the bottom. Like, I really don't want to put any detail in there, but the clouds can have something. Yeah, I think the clouds could look good if it blends correctly and I can get it to blend right. Then it should. I'm going to have to figure out how to blend it properly and which colors to use. But potentially that could work out really well. I think I'm going to have to use opaque colors for that to go over the black, though. Almost certainly, because black is too strong. Transparent will just vanish into it. So it would have to be opaque, which I have opaque. I have opaque of all these colors, or similar colors anyway. So it should be fine. But that's the plan. That's the plan. Look at that. That could, if it works out. If it works, you know what? Actually, let me try something. I want to get an idea of something here. Let me get this. Assuming that this is a fan brush. Yeah, see, I think I want to have it. I should have some clouds coming out like that. And here too, where there's just some that kind of come out. Yeah, like that one is, and just have it. It's tough to simulate the fan brush. There isn't a fan brush necessarily in this. And then the tricky part of this is blending, obviously. It's going to be to blend that out. And okay, no, if it blends like that, it should be fine. Just have that. And a little bit of that where it's blended. Blends in. Blend this. Right. Blend. Cover up that. Because again, there's going to be no white shown on the outside of this. And then I would want to probably hit this with maybe this color on the granulated one here. And come to here. And just do a little bit on that. And a little bit there. And a little bit there. And a little bit there. And then blend those. Yep, like that. I think that might look good. Might not. We'll see. Just depends. Just gotta figure out. But that could come out all right. That could come out all right. Yeah. Yeah, it might. I mean, it's either gonna work or it's gonna be a disaster. I don't think there's much. I don't think with this there's much in between room. I think it's going to be. See, I'm going to just try to simulate blending these a little bit, just so that we see what it's like when there's no color involved, because there won't be. It's going to be a little bit ugly because I'm doing this kind of fast and loose. So there's some, but I just want to see if the white is gone. And we're going pure color, because I don't want that white. I don't want white anywhere except where the sun is. The sun should be the only element of white that we see. So obviously this is, I will be blending all this before I lay down the blacks. So this is not completely representative of what will happen, but it's close enough. I'm just trying to eliminate the white areas. Just get all color in here, all color. Push that down, push that out. Right. Yeah, see, that to me looks a lot better. And then down here, keep smearing this to give this the water effect. Yeah, see, that's how the water's going to look, more or less, because it's just going to be going across like that. Like that. Let's see, we can do streaks like this too, where it comes in. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. And then what I may do is once this dries, then I might come in with the acrylic pens, see? And with the acrylic pens, then after the fact I would come in here and I would actually do more detail work, like, okay, put some, well, okay, thicker than that, obviously. That's pretty, let's try this one. Okay, thicker than that. It would be more like a 10, I guess. Do something like this where I'm putting it like there's actual grass. It would still be black, but then I could come in once this is dry, and with the acrylic, then I can really kind of start to create these sharper shapes where it's going to feel like, you know, the edge of something. You know, and then just probably let it die off down here. But something like that where there's kind of sharper shapes involved. And then, you know, sweep something up like this. Depending on what I want it to be. And if I want it to be like it's really a high thing, then I could even do like, you know, like tree. Actually, it wouldn't be trees. Something like this would probably be more like a like palm trees or something like that. They're kind of off in the distance. I don't know. That I can always figure that out later. Like there's a lot of Bob Ross ones where it's just like palm trees that are blowing in the sun, which is sort of a neat effect. You know, something like that where it's just, yeah, actually that would look good. This is sort of what the first painting I was looking at was going to be, was something like this, where you see these things coming up and just kind of blowing like a, yeah, that might be better. Something like that, where it's these things. And this would all be done after the fact with the acrylic brushes so that I could get that fine detail. See? Something like that. I mean, I could actually do it with the fan brush. So I may do something like that, but that's the basic plan. Wow, you know what? Man, this could be really good. This could go really well. I hope it does, because I like this basic look. It looks good to me. So I'm just black this in. See, this will all be blacked out for the most part. I mean, you'd probably see some stuff here and there, but that would be mostly blacked out, because that's the goal. Is I don't want to have any of the background in here. This would all be blacked out. Probably just with pure black. I mean, I'd just go midnight black. I wouldn't even mess with it. Why bother? Just do it with actual black. Put it in there, and then do it like that. And I like that low horizon as opposed to the 50-50. I like the low horizon on that. I think that's going to look better. Man. I hope this goes as well as I want it to. I really do. Because without, and if I turn the grid off, so that would be what it basically would look like. And then without the line, so like that. I hope I can get close to this. I hope I can get close to this. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to do a quick export of it. So we'll do a JPEG export, because we really don't need anything else. So save. And then, oh, I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, that's what we're going for right there. So this is now, literally as soon as I finish this stream, I'm going to prep all my stuff. And then I'm going to attempt to paint this. So let's put it this way. By tonight's stream, I will have a update for you, if anybody shows up for that. I will post pictures probably in the Discord as well, like Jay will be able to see it. Within a few hours or so of what this ended up becoming. And I really, really, really hope that it ends up close to this. Because I like this thing. Whatever this is, I like this look. Whether I'll be able to actually achieve that. And I don't think I should start with a black canvas. Even though there's a lot of black in this, I really think I should start with a white canvas. because I think I know they say with white canvas, the white canvas will punch the colors up. And black is going to be black. I mean, I'll put black oil paint on this thing. It's going to be black. So I'm not too worried about the black areas, but I don't want to dampen the bright colors. I need the bright to be as bright as it is against the black colors. Oh, okay. I'm sort of stalling because I'm kind of nervous about it. But there's only one way to find out. You have to do it. You have to do it. That's in the end, you can't be worried about it. You have to decide to actually do something, and you have to do it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and, that's 40 minutes. Okay, that was a longer stream than I thought. So let's pop this up. And I am going to now go actually attempt to do this and see how it goes. I don't know if it's going to work, but you know what? That's the nature of creation sometimes, is occasionally you take a swing at something, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, if nothing else, if it doesn't work out, then at least I might get an idea of how to make it work the next time. So you got to look at it that way. Because it might not always work out, but as long as you come out and I'm going to have a good time with it. I'll try something. I'm excited to try it. That's a big important thing, is to actually be excited about trying stuff. You don't want to get trapped in just doing things that are familiar and easy, unless you're getting paid for it, in which case go for it. But yeah, that's the idea. So that's what I'm going to try. So anyway, like I said, I'm planning to do a stream tonight, which will be much more of a standard. I got to plan something out for my Magic card, so that'll probably be at the normal time tonight. And by then, I'll be able to tell you whether this worked out or not. I mean, like I said, I've got the canvases. I'm looking right at it. I'm kind of trying to visualize it. And I'm excited to try it. And that's a good thing. You should be excited to try stuff. So anyway, I'm going to bring this stream to a close. So thank you all for being here. Jay, thanks for stopping in. Hope you have fun babysitting. And wish me luck, folks. I hope that this thing works out. I really do. Because if it does, it might be a painting I'm really excited to do. But to have done, I should say. But again, try things out, everybody. That's what makes creating fun, is to actually try things and stretch yourself and wander into unknown territory sometimes. So anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful well, I'll be back later on. So but I know not everybody may be able to come back later. So like, I don't know, if Jay will probably be very late where you are. But anyway, because I'm playing the stream around, I would say 6:15, 6:30 Pacific time, which would be UK time, 8 hours, 9 hours ahead. Oh boy, that'd be 2 or 3 a.m. So I'm not expecting you to come back, Jay. I appreciate you coming by at all. But anybody else, I'll be back on later in case you missed this, because this is an abnormal time because I'm off today, which I'm normally not. And yeah, I'm going to go get paint. I'm going to go get set up and start painting. It's going to be fun. All right, as I always say, if there is a creator whose work you enjoy, support that creator, because there's a lot of people out there trying to make a living at doing something they truly love and being creative, and it is not easy. So if you have a way to support those people monetarily, great. If you don't have that capability, but you can support them by resharing their work, or sending them a note, or following them, or subscribing to them, depending on what they're doing, do that. That stuff all matters. It all adds up, and it's all important. So whatever thing you can do, you should take the time to do it, because I promise you those people will appreciate it in whatever form it comes. It does not always have to be money. Nobody's going to turn down money, obviously. That's what pays bills. But support of any kind matters to a creator, because, I mean, I would guess roughly 85 to 90% of creators, myself included, look at our work and have severe doubts at times and run into these walls where we think we're just creating garbage, or that what we're creating just has so many defects and problems that it's not worth keeping going. When you see other artists that you see that are far more talented than you are, and you think, well, what am I contributing when somebody like this is doing this kind of work? That happens a lot. That happens to me all the time, as I look at other creators that I follow, because there's a lot of painters on Blue Sky that I follow, and I'm like, why am I bothering? These people are so good. and I doubt it's effortless. Of course, they're putting the work in, but you just look at what they do and you just think, how are you that imaginative and talented? What is that like? Because I don't feel that way. Most creators, I won't say every, there are creators who believe in themselves all the way, which good for them. It's rare. But many creators struggle with that idea of, is what I'm doing worth doing? Or am I just wasting my time and everybody else's time? So that's what I mean about even non-monetary support could help that person out. So just sending that person a message saying, hey, I really love all your work. That is immensely beneficial for somebody who's struggling with whether they want to create or not. So that's what I mean. It doesn't always have to be money. Don't reduce support of people and the impact of that support down to just dollars, because it's not all about just dollars. There's more to it. So whatever you can do, if you can do it all, do it all. Monetary, supporting other routes, subscribing, notes, all that stuff. If you can do it all, do it all. But if you can only do one of those things, still take the time to do one of them. All right, I'm going to go get prepped up and set up for painting. Boy, oh boy, we'll see how it goes. This is unusual. I don't usually do streams where I'm streaming and then by the next stream, I'll know the results of what I attempted. So anyway, I'll be back later on and we'll see how things go. For everybody who's watching this, whenever you're watching it, live or later, doesn't matter to me. Hope you're having a great day. And if you're a creative person, keep being creative. It's worth doing. All right, I'm getting out of here. Bye, everybody. Oh, sorry, I should end it the way I usually do. So on that note, thanks for being here. And until the next stream, take care.